What is going on today, guys? So today we got something fun. We're going to go through all of the cabinets of all the spare parts and all tooling inside the trailer, see what we can find. Maybe we'll find something in that guy's pocket, inside of his jacket he left us, or some cool tools or some cool parts. So let's open this thing up. We'll unload the car. We'll see what's in here. I think we're going to go through this one first. Pretty sweet. Looks like an old Toyota parts cabinet from a dealership or something. All right, first thing on the shelf, you can see through it, so I know what it is. Nice little nut and bolt kit. Guarantee that'll come in handy. Let's see. Carburetor synchronizer. So for those of you that don't know, these things run 4 carburetors. It's a 4-cylinder engine, 1 carb per cylinder, and you have to match them all together. Otherwise, one cylinder could run a little lean, could run a little rich. So to optimize performance, you're going to use one of these and you're going to check vacuum on each one and synchronize it. I haven't done it yet. We're going to do it together at some point, but that's cool to know that that's in there. Let's see what else we got. We're going to have to adjust some of these shelves. This looks like another sort of hardware kit. Yep, just another little grade 5 hardware kit. I actually already ordered one for this thing, knowing that I was going to probably need some hardware installed. So it's funny that there's already a couple in here. Ooh. We're going to go through that in a second. I'm going to just put that down over here for now. Let's see. Toyota MR2 shims for valves. Interesting. I'm going to guess this looks like a valve shim kit. Yep. So it's got all these little shims, and this is actually what you use to adjust the valves on these engines. There's a whole bunch in there. It actually looks like, look at that, there's even a micrometer. Pittsburgh. But yeah, so that's what I have a feeling. I have a feeling that a lot of the tools are going to be Harbor Freight, but it's okay. Some of the stuff from back in the day was good. Let's see. Rags, some little baby screwdrivers, a punch, a little hammer. Now, he did tell me, I think this must be it, that inside of one of these boxes is a brand new set of carburetors. Ooh. Yep, that is them right there. Bingo. Brand fresh. Rebuilt by Hank Scott Racing, supposedly. Normally they would have a sticker on them that would say that, so I don't know how true that is, but pretty sweet. That'll be helpful. Hopefully they're jetted somewhat close to what we need for this altitude. All right. It looks like that's all that's in this one. I think we're going to turn the camera over to this other side. I should probably close that. We're going to turn the camera over to this other side here behind me. Try and aim it so we can see everything. So this one is going to be a lot of stuff, I hope. Fingers crossed. We'll see. So we know we have an engine here, obviously. It's hanging out right in front. I'm dying to see if he left something in this jacket pocket. It is so funny. No, nothing in that one. No inside pockets. All right, final pocket to check. Let's see. Nothing. That's okay. Huh. Might even fit me, actually. We'll go through this one later. I want to set up the camera to be able to see that. So let's roll this engine out of the way. I know that that is built by Vance and Hines. The story behind this thing is that the person that originally bought this car and used to race the car before a couple owners, before the guy I purchased it from, Eric, supposedly worked for Vance and Hines. And Vance and Hines machine shop built this thing into a screamer. And apparently it was a rocket ship until it stripped that head stud out. Now that's a common issue on these. I explained that earlier in another video. The 3 and 4 cylinder, the head stud in between the two, you're supposed to retorque all the head studs after racing, and eventually that one strips. Not sure why, but that's okay because they make a kit to repair it. So this engine, I'm hopefully going to get back up and going just to see if it really is a fast engine. It's time to go through this cabinet and see what we can find. Handful of good stuff. I'm going to sneak over here to the other side. All right. Greg Pike. So that was one of the original owners of the car. I don't know how long ago, but looks like a spare windshield. Looks like maybe a bag of carburetor parts. Yeah, these look like floats or slides. You can see it looks like it's got rat pee all over it. All right, some older top end fuel lines. So the new motors use like an AN style line. I don't have any to show you yet, but you'll see in other videos. Uses an AN style line rather than these old push lock lines. These probably came off that Vance and Hines motor because there's no lines on that one. Maybe good for spare. All right, and then we have an axle shaft, but I don't know if you can see that. It almost looks like it's been repaired. I know that the housing is narrowed. I don't know if this is how they were narrowing their shafts. I mean, it's weird because it's not fully welded, but it's plug welded in 4 spots. I'll have to put that in the lathe and see if it even spins true. You can see it looks like it's been hit here at one point. Let's see what else we got. Okay, some sort of aluminum linkage. Don't know what it's for. Don't know if it's straight. I don't know if that's just broken cabinet trim or if that was something. We'll find out. That looks like a very specific tool. Pull up. I don't know. It says it backwards though. I don't know what that is. If you know what that is, let me know. Maybe these go with it somehow. Similar color paint. Marked left and right. That one's been notched for something. I'll have to figure out what those go to. Okay, spare alternator. Still spins. Some brand new battery positive and negative, jumper posts it looks like. Wonder if that means the alternator wasn't charging very well. A vent line. It's got to be what it is. Clear vinyl tube, 3/4 inch. It's got to be some sort of tank vent or something. I don't know what that is. If you know what that is, message me, let me know. It's INEX approved. All right, When we make some room, I'll pull out those toolboxes right now. Slide some of this stuff out of the way. I took off the headphone I was wearing. I feel like it might have been giving some reverb. The headphone was acting up, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. If not, I'll try and boost the audio on it or something. Oh my God, that's heavy. It's got an S on it. Ooh, there's rat pee and poop down in here. All right, let's see. Well, I guess I should go through the top first, huh? Okay, brand new rod end. Used rod ends. They got a little bit of play in them. Some brand new wheel studs. Some AN fittings. Those look like maybe for brake lines. They look like they're flared on that side. Some brand new Zerk fittings. I think that goes for the upper arm. Based on looking on the car, I think that goes for the upper arm. All right, some lock nuts. Some sort of crush washer that looks too big for a spark plug. Ooh, brand new Zeus fasteners, quarter turn fasteners. Rocker panel molding clips. Maybe to hold bolts on or something. Maybe he's using them for the Zeus fasteners. Toyota part number. I think I've mentioned it, but if not, a lot of these cars are built with Toyota parts. So the guy was telling me that there's a lot of old Toyota parts that you can still buy at O'Reilly's that they use on the race cars, which is kind of cool. So we got some different types of rivets in here. Some nut certs. I guess it's a lock nut. I don't know if you can see that. It's triangular shaped. Very, very lightweight. I've never seen a lock nut like that. I mean, I've seen a Stover nut, but not like this lightweight. That's interesting. Backup plates. Aluminum backup plates. It's got to be for the rivets. And then look at a big head rivets. Those are body rivets. So that's good to know I have, because I got to replace some fenders if you don't recall. All right, let's go in this box. So it's labeled S. Let's see what's in there. Ooh, all sorts of goodies. All right, so Toyota differential gaskets. 2 brand new, 3, 4, 5. There's a handful in there. Bunch of brand new Yamaha parts. Look like valve cover bolts maybe. Brand new Toyota seal. It's probably for the rear pinion. Another seal. I'm not even going to open it. I know it's a seal. True value. Ooh, no way. I think these are just grade 5 bolts, but I think they're long enough to be able to replace the oil cooler bolts. Look at that. The oil cooler mount is broken off. So is the hood, or the grill, which holds the hood. These might be long enough to do that. 1/4 inch. They're stainless. That's interesting. I would have figured they were grade 5, but sweet. Escondido. Like I've said before, the car was from Southern California pretty much its whole life. Hub cover or bearing cover. New lug nuts. So these are for coilovers. This allows the older Bilstein shocks, which this car still runs, to have a coilover on it. That one looks like it's in good shape. However, this one got beat up pretty good. Maybe if I run it upside down, it'll be okay. I don't know if that's even possible. We'll find out. A couple new brake lines. AN brake lines. That one looks like it's got like a restrictor in it. That's pretty interesting. It's got a part number on it. Maybe I'll try and look it up. Let's see, a throttle cable. Okay, that's a black box. That's the ignition box this car still runs because it's older. We got a hand riveter, some heat shrink, a brand new genuine valve cover gasket. That's going to come in handy because I got some parts here that we're going to end up using that for, and you will see why. Toyota seal packing. Look at that. It's even got the little thumb screw to be able to squeeze it out. Although it is rock hard, so that's going to be trash. These are motor mounts. So they go through the factory motor mount that was rubber and it replaces them for a solid mount. Right. Maybe drain plugs? No. I don't know what those are for, but you can see they've been cut down and kind of shaped. I got 2 of them that look that way. Or something. All right. So I would have guessed that this box S stood for steering. However, I no longer believe that because as of yet, I have yet to find any steering parts. Bunch of E clips or Jesus clips because you say Jesus when it flies across the room. Some cotter pins. These are all like completely full. Completely full. This is lock nuts. Perfect. Hey, Goose. Hey, bud. Okay. All right. All right. I know you're just interested in race car stuff. Go. Go, bud. Go. Go get your brother. Go get him. Goose, get out of here. Goose, go. Can't blame him for liking race cars. Lock washers. That's a steering shaft. Give them a sec, see if they calm down. That's a steering shaft. A little bit worn out, but I wonder why it's in here. All right, sorry about that, guys. The dogs started going crazy out here. All right, so we'll just wrap this one up. It looks like not much left in the bottom. Some cheap electrical connectors. I'll probably just throw those away. I don't like these old hard plastic style, so we'll just take them out now. Some brake pads, semi-metallic. Ah, there's the boot for the brand new rod end right here. I was wondering if it still had a boot for it. All right, we're gonna put those together in there. So there's some steering stuff in here for being an S box. Sorry if the dog's barking still. She's crazy. Brake pad mount for the calipers. Some old duct tape, Gorilla tape maybe. We'll take that out. Some old Velcro. Some more hubcaps, which are significantly smaller. Wonder what those go to. Brand new rear wheel cylinder, maybe used. Looks like it's used, huh? Yeah, definitely used. I wonder if it's worth it to throw these or keep them. We'll keep them for now. And then looks like a left rear trailing arm and a right rear trailing arm. You notice there's a difference in the length. That's to set up the stagger. I believe that's what it is. I know stagger is also tired, so I could be wrong. But basically you're putting the turn into the rear end to basically want to make the car turn left even when going straight. Oval track stuff. We're learning. I don't know what that is. All right, I'm gonna put this stuff back together and we'll pull out the next one. So we're gonna pull out this next one. Actually, here, there's a box up here. Ooh, I can already tell what that is. If you guys know, comment it down below. Long acre tape measures. These are toe plates, it looks like. Road racing products. Put your tape measure across here, and measure between the two. I believe that's what they are. Normally they would bolt onto the wheel, but let's see if there's anything else to tell us. Nope, no instructions, but it doesn't look like they've ever been used, just scuffed from sitting in here. So that's pretty sweet. There's another spare axle shaft in there. I'm gonna leave it. Looks like over here, got a bunch of spare spindles. That one's a right. Right. Not marked, but doesn't match the same, so it's got to be a left. So a right, a left, and a left. Perfect. So let's see, the car got hit on the left. I'm surprised that the right one's missing, because all the damage to the car got done onto the left side of the car. So I'm maybe he had 3 of them and now he only has 2. I don't know, but that's interesting. These are the old style spindles. The new ones are all aluminum, and I believe this piece just bolts onto the new ones. I could be wrong about that, but they have a nice little spot here. Here, put them all back. There's a spare motor mount or engine hoist in here. Pretty slick. It grabs onto the motor mount and then grabs onto the exhaust studs, and it allows you to lift the engine in and out. And then the owner told me about this one, what it was. He told me it was in here. Apparently, the plate that the steering rack bolts to warps. It either gets bent in a crash or whatever. And this will bolt on there and allow it to flatten the plate. It's only 1/4 inch, all of it. So if I find that this is bending, which it actually looks a little bit bent here, it could just be from welding. But if I find that this is bending, I'll just make one out of some 3/8 plate or something. That's super basic design. All right, time to get this box out. Oh. That is the broken head stud for the Vance & Hines motor. So they just, as you can see, it just snapped right off as it being tightened. It's a really common failure on those. That's funny to find that. Man, this toolbox is in here. All right. Okay, T, I believe that said tools at one time. Let's see what we can find. So based on the screwdrivers that I've found, I'm gonna guess a lot of this is gonna be old Harbor Freight stuff. But let's see, maybe some old Craftsman, fingers crossed, you know, the Made in America stuff. We'll do the same thing, start in the top. Spanner wrench and brushes. That's going to be for a grinder, most likely. I'm just looking at this. Loctite has leaked out. And that one is empty. All right, let's see. I think Stack-On is still being made. Ooh, more rat poop in there. That's lovely. All right. It's got the old plastic tool smell. Okay, a little baby hammer. Made in China. Yep, I'm gonna guess a lot of that stuff. I kind of like that black color though. Drop forged. Here's a Pittsburgh pry bar. Pittsburgh pry bar. Doesn't even have a name on it. Little blow gun. Little circuit tester. Pair of hose clamp pliers. OGI Turbo Pro. Another China brand. Same thing with these ones. What are all these ratchet wrenches? These are super old ratchet wrenches. Oh my goodness. Pittsburgh for a lot of this stuff. Oh, Craftsman 36 millimeter. I'm gonna guess that this is for the drive shaft coupler. So on the side of the engine, I was looking at the Vance & Hines motor. On the side of the engine, to convert from what would normally be a sprocket from the motorcycle motor to a drive shaft for the Toyota rear axle, there's an adapter. And I have a spare one laying around and some parts I've been collecting, but I don't have it out here with me to show you. But
you have to get a 36 mil socket down in there, and it is tight, hence for the thin wall. So that makes sense. Let's put this stuff back up here and see what's underneath. All right, another big hammer, and there's even a bigger one up there. So I got 3 ball peen hammers for this thing. Giant wrench set. Goes all the way up to 1.25 inches. Honestly, they are Pittsburgh, but they're not as cheap as the stuff they have now. It's got a thicker handle to it. It feels pretty good, actually. The chrome plating looks okay. I get the frustration when I watch some YouTube videos and I see the guy go, well, my camera just died. My phone stopped recording, maxed out on storage space because of other stuff I have been recording. So, is what it is. We lost the footage of going through this box right here, which was all tools. You got to see me go through up to the wrench set. There were all the black boxes in that toolbox were brand new Pittsburgh sockets, still in cellophane, metal cases, like the stuff that they don't even make anymore. They haven't made in a long time. So that's pretty sweet. There's also in the very back, there's a brand new box of coil springs. They're all labeled. They all have a weight rating on them. I had no idea those were in there. He didn't say anything about it. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I have been told that different tracks require different spring rates, different setups based on corners, based on length, all sorts of stuff. So having all that stuff there will make a big difference in being able to set up the car and go check out some other tracks. We found all sorts of random stuff like this, which is backwards, but it says INEX approved. No idea what that is. If you know what that is, let me know. There was all sorts of goodies. You'll see more of it. There's a drive shaft up there. There's another spare axle shaft. There's all sorts of stuff. I'm gonna set up the camera again, go through the couple things on the top shelf and see what's in there. I'm guessing it's more tools, and then we'll knock it out and call it good for the night.
All right, guys. As if there wasn't enough stuff in here already. This thing is chocked full of it. Let me see if I can get this thing set up low enough so you guys can see in here too. All right, so I'll name the obvious. Air compressor. These are going to be some old fluids, it looks like. Here's some duct tape. I really hope I don't have to pull that out to see all this stuff in here. Ooh, let's see, can we get it out without spilling everything? Ooh, look at that, we got lucky. All right, just some old fluids. Misty Green all-purpose sprayer, or all-purpose cleaner. That's some old stuff, guys. Let's see, what do you think? There's a date on here? Maybe a copyright date? That is some old stuff. Here we go. Well, still can't make out what year it is. Here is some heavy-duty glass cleaner. Okay. Wonder, what do you think? They still got some spray? Barely. There's a trailer jack wheel. We've got a ring and pinion here, just hanging out, ready to go into a diff once you got one. I'm gonna guess some sort of vent tubing. Some coat hangers, because you never know, those always come in handy. Man, I'm glad to know that there is not a mouse in here, because there is a lot of mouse poop. Look at this filter. Let's see. Do we think it's going to be good? It might still be considered good. Probably don't run it. Probably just throw that away, along with all the other stuff in this box. That can be cleaned. All right, let's toss this outside here. All right. So we have what looks like 2 differentials, maybe 3. some sort of rubber mats. Nothing crazy. All right. First differential. 358 welded diff. It actually looks pretty good. I'll try and hold that up for you guys into the light here. Actually, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. No rust. Sweet. It's got these really nice little diff buckets to hold them in. All right, 390. Now, I don't know what's in the car. We will have to check that later. However, I know that this is supposed to be like a holy grail diff for some reason. I always see people posting online looking for a 390 gear set. Let's see. Hopefully this one's in better shape than that one right there on the ground. Okay. Ring and pinion don't look too bad. But you know what? It's cracked right here. Let's see if I can get that up there close enough to the camera to see. Not sure if you'll be able to see it, but right here, right by my finger, it looks like it's cracked through. Oh yeah, look at it's broken all down inside there. I'll get some more videos of that later, guys. There you go. You can probably see it there. Cracked all down inside there. That's okay. Ready for a spool. That's what that means. All right, anything else? Looks like one more diff set. 293. Ooh, it's got a spool in it. Look at that. This one's not in as good a shape. I'm surprised how well these buckets really help keep it together, but this one's a little bit crustier. Nothing a good parts wash couldn't clean up. A little bit of backlash, but it's got the spool. It almost might be worth it to swap the spool to here if the gears will, if the spool is the right size. For some of you that don't know, different gear sets sometimes have a larger or smaller actual carrier for the gear set that's required, which would be what the spool would be replacing on the 390 gear.
All right, guys, I set up a super bright little work light in here just so that you guys could see because it's getting dark quick. So this is a bunch of hardware that I'm guessing came off the car when it was wrecked because like that's the rod end for the shock. There's a bunch of broken bolts like that one. I don't know what that was. So a few Zeus fasteners that actually don't look like they're in bad shape. Those probably came off the fenders. There's 4 of them. So we'll see what we can sort through and reuse. Some of this is probably just gonna be trash, but that's all there. We got ignition pickup for the black box that's in that down there parts bin. Little tape measure. I'm guessing he was probably using it for checking tire stagger. Nice little Stanley tape measure. So this is, I know you guys lost a lot of footage, or I lost a lot of footage for you guys. This is the type of sockets that were down there. So not rusty, but it's not Pittsburgh, but it kind of is. It says PF and then a part number, and each socket has a different part number, made in Taiwan. I am kind of impressed with the quality, to be honest. It doesn't feel like typical Pittsburgh stuff. The impact sockets that are down there do not say Pittsburgh or anything on them. They just say chrome vanadium. So that's pretty much all the stuff. Oh, look at that. The only tool that isn't Pittsburgh, a Crescent 10 mil. Wow, that's the one that everyone loses too, right? Still ratchets. That's nice. Tire chuck. Just a handful of little things. All right, couple hammers. There's a baby one, baby ball peen. Nice pair of large channel locks. I'm gonna guess probably Pittsburgh also, maybe something else. All right, master grip. So this was one of the screwdrivers holding the car together, the front end together when I brought it home. Haven't seen any screwdrivers, but this says master grip on it and this says master grip on it. So that means one of these is a tool set. So let's open them up and see what we got. Oh, I can tell you right now, it's going to be some sort of air tool set. You see that air impact right there on the front. Whew. Holy cow. Holy cow. Okay, well, I just found where that socket came from. I mean, I know it's probably like a Napa special, but a lot of our stuff is cordless now anyway, right? We're all using electric stuff. Air is a little outdated nowadays. But some of it, like an air hammer or air chisel with a couple chisels, that's not bad. Die grinder, that'll be useful. Air cutoff blade or cutoff wheel with wheels, only one. Not bad. 3/8 ratchet, again, something that's, oh, that's heavy. That is so heavy. Something that everyone's gone electric to, right? But hey, if I forget a power tool or a battery dies, this will get me through in a pinch, right? And then we got an air chuck right here, missing the end, but nice little air nozzle. That's a sweet little kit. I don't really feel like they make kits like this anymore, to be honest. I feel like a lot of it is just buy individual parts. I don't know. Used to be like O'Reilly's and everywhere used to sell a kit like this for all sorts of different stuff, but that's a good one. It even has a 1-800 number to call for customer service. All right, so if that's what's in here, then this one probably is going to be spare tools. I don't know what that fan's from. Denso fan. Doesn't sound too good. Might not be worth much. All right, let's pop this out real quick. All right. Dun, da, da. Sweet. Sweet. Another basic hand tool set. Nothing fancy, obviously, guys, but hey, free tools are free tools. I'm not going to complain about it. Let's put a screwdriver back in there. So it looks like this screwdriver has been used a bunch. The Crescent, this screwdriver has a little bit of dirt on it. It's been used too. We're missing a couple wrenches. Take a wild guess which wrench is missing from this set. If you guess 10 millimeter, you're right. Give yourself a pat on the back. Virtual high five. 10 mil socket is here. Let's see. 9, 10. Not a bad little set. You know what? I saw those wire cutters earlier. We'll put those back too. Sweet. Well, not every size. It goes from 13, 14, 17, 19. I guess they're kind of counting on you using 5/8 or 15-ish, 16-ish. But they give you a 13, which you definitely could have used a half for. And who knows. But all right, guys. Well, that pretty much concludes all of the parts that came with the car. There's a bunch of stuff that I bought separately. I went and met with another racer out of Fresno, California, and he had swapped to the newer water-cooled motor, and so he sold me a bunch of his old air-cooled parts. Forgive the dog, hopefully you can hear me over her. He sold me a bunch of his old air-cooled stuff, because again, this is outdated. I'm just looking to have some fun and figure out how much I want to invest into this, you know? And then another racer went and met with another racer and picked up all sorts of spare stuff for me. He's got me a set of Hoosiers, no rims for him, but he got me a set of Hoosiers. He got me a set of coils. He got me all sorts of stuff. So we'll go through that stuff later, kind of as we need to. Some of it's going to be junk. I got one box that was like all old parts, but you never know. There could be something I need in there. So I figured I would just collect it. It was free. So we'll go through all that stuff. But for tonight, we're going to end it here. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think. Tell me, tell me how crazy I am for jumping into a whole new sport that I have no info on. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for watching.